What if financing wasn't just a way to close a sale, but one of your best marketing tools? Today, I'm joined by the head of sales at American First Finance to uncover the secrets to expanding your customer base and unlocking a dollar for dollar ad match to bring in all credit welcome customers. Get your notepads ready because Mark Shelley is here and the Fan Podcast starts right now.
In the mattress world, a no at checkout means a lost sale. That's where American First Finance comes in. We help you say yes to more customers, even if their credit isn't perfect. With fast setup, tailored solutions, and support every step of the way, you're not just offering a way to pay. You're inviting them to Yesville, where more people get approved and customers can take home the mattress they need today. Visit AmericanFirstFinance.com to get started.
Did you know that 86% of customers buy from the first business that responds? And if you text back very quickly, that number jumps to over 90%. That's why Podium's AI employee, Jerry, is a game changer. Jerry never sleeps, never takes a lunch break, and never puts in a 2-week notice. He's always on, responding in seconds, so you never lose a lead again. Turn missed calls into texts, capture more leads, and close more deals, all with Podium. Want to see how it works? Get a demo today at podium.com/FAM. Podium, because speed wins sales. For the first time ever, top retailers can carry the luxury mattress line one of America's top sleep retailers has kept to themselves until now. Introducing Prana Sleep. Crafted from 100% natural materials featuring luxury latex quilted directly into the top panel, it's a feel no competitor can match. Born from decades of retail experience, Prana Sleep delivers premium performance, customer loyalty, and unmatched sleep satisfaction. Your competition is going to hate selling against Prana Sleep because nothing compares. Apply now at pranasleep.com.
Welcome to the FAM Podcast with Mark Kinsley. This is where the best in the bedding business get even better.
Welcome to the Fan Podcast. Mark Shelley, great to have you here on the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me here, Mark.
Hey, for people that don't know, tell us about American First Finance. Tell us about Yesville.
Yesville is a magical place that customers go and they get yeses. So many times in our space, we hear customers say, I can't get it, or the answer is no, or whatnot. But Yesville is all about giving customers options and letting them choose. And so what's great about that is that we were able to help satisfy the need at point of sale with consumers and help them get what they want, not just what they can afford at the time.
That's a great point. I mean, if we had a great speech that Brent Batterman gave last year at Sleep Summit. And, the speech was all about like leading with financing and making it part of the initial conversation so that people can sort of get what they want and not just what they need. What do you find with retailers that work with American First Finance and kind of expand that aperture, open that aperture in terms of giving people those needs beyond the wants? How do they do it?
Yeah, I think obviously a lot of retailers focus their time, energy, and efforts on prime consumers, and with good reason. There's a lot of customers coming in looking for prime solutions. But with AFF, it's really about trying to capture those customers that wouldn't come through their doors. And if they do come in, they're thinking, hey, I'll be able to pay cash for an item, so I'll just go check it out at that particular retailer. The beauty of our program is you come in, you decide, hey, I want to try and see what I can do with QR code or at point of sale, and they get approved. And a lot of times they're not expecting that. They're expecting to go to other RTO providers that will say yes every time to them. But when they have solutions like AFF that is available at that particular person's store or that retailer's store, it opens up a whole different opportunity for that consumer to look at things, not just what they can afford at a starter level, but truly giving them what they want. Because at the end of the day, they want the same thing that prime consumers have, the opportunity to purchase what they want and when they want it.
Get that mattress, bring it home tonight, start getting a better night's sleep.
Absolutely.
Tell me about how you sort of coach people and teach retailers how to think about financing, how to talk about financing to the consumer. Like I said in Batterman's speech, he was like, lead with financing, because it could be super awkward later on, maybe at the desk when you're trying to write up a ticket to then start talking about financing. That may be one tip. What are some of the others in the coaching that y'all do?
Yeah, I think the big thing with with merchants is just, and the retail sales associates is just letting people know that there are options out there for them. So many people get concerned about sharing or telling the wrong customer the wrong thing. But at the end of the day, when you're at the front of the store and you're meeting that customer and you're wanting to be as inviting and provide as much information as you can, or they're allowing you, just letting them know, hey, we have payment options for everyone, including customers that wouldn't normally get approved. So please let me know what you're looking at and how I can help you. And we can already open up that door with a pre-qualification soon.
That's a great way to handle it. Yeah, just we have options. And, it's almost like the adjustable base we always talk about in the industry. Always show the adjustable base. Get somebody on that mattress, bring that surprise and delight when you raise their feet and then raise their head and the back tension goes away. But if they don't know it exists, if they don't know it's there, they're never going to be able to have that moment and make it part of their consideration. And that's almost the same thing with finding, like, how you got to know, you got to present it to people, show it every time.
Absolutely. And I would say that early and often is typically what I would recommend. Traditionally, when in my experience in the retail sales floor, just sowing seeds to let them know, hey, we have ways for everyone to pay. And, there's multiple options available to you, not necessarily going in depth in those first 30, 60, 90 seconds, or even in the first 5 or 10 minutes, but just letting them know, regardless of your situation, we're going to find a way to allow you to take that product home today or be able to order that product for your home.
Okay, you just talked about your experience on the retail floor. So you've got some credibility in that arena. Like, your background is with Ashley.
Yep. Yeah, I spent 10 years with Ashley Furniture and really learned about the whole sales process, learned about how to bring payment options into that, because you have a wide spectrum of customers coming in, with people looking for no interest offers for long periods of time, and consumers that just came in trying to find single items, as well as customers that wouldn't traditionally get approved at an Ashley home store. But as soon as that happened, as soon as they understood, hey, I've got $2,000 or $3,000 and not just the $500 in my pocket, it unlocked a whole different mentality in their shopping experience and allowed them to take full advantage of that same opportunity that a prime consumer would.
And speaking of that chunk that people end up with, if they get approved for $5,000 and they spend $2,000 today, I've heard people talk about that $3,000 that's still on the account then becomes a marketing vehicle to attract that customer again. How does that work?
Yeah, we continue to provide campaigns that let customers know, hey, you have available funds, you have available shopping power. Please come back into the store and so merchant and ask for your AFF approvals that are still out there. And consumers that did make purchases but didn't actually utilize all of the amount, we're sending them campaigns that through text, through email, letting them know, hey, go back to so-and-so merchant. Let's see what else you can find that you need. Just because you had one mattress or the base, maybe you wanted to add an additional room mattress. And so what's good about it is it brings those customers back in the door. It's the silent salesman. And we're really excited about being able to offer that for those customers.
And so that happens kind of automatically. Like, if somebody walks away and they still have money on their account, and then AFF is doing that work on behalf of your customer, the retailer.
Correct. As long as they have a contract open with AFF, we will continue to market to them and make sure that they are aware of their funds available.
How does that work? This is just me kind of scratching my own itch here out of curiosity. How does it work if you're a retailer and, of course, you have your brick and mortar presence, but you have an online store as well? Can the customer that's shopping online at your store go through a process on their own, or do they have to get on the phone and call somebody? How does that part work?
No, we offer the landing pages available for your website. We can help tailor your financing options and make sure that we provide AFF as an option on your financing page. Typically, what happens from there is the customer can fill out that application before they even walk into your store, because there's a large portion of consumers that do that before they even shop somewhere. It's much more popular from a no credit needed standpoint. And so I would just say having that landing page on your website is key, because that's where most of the people shop from. And then from there, once they get approved, they'll walk into your store and tell you how much their approval is.
Okay, so it isn't completely self-contained in a sense that once they go through the credit approval process on your website, they can then purchase from your website. They can.
Absolutely. And so there is an e-com setup that we can do that allows you to transact online. But again, I think there's opportunities for your customers to go to your website, get approved from there, walk into the store. We also have a Shop Our Partners page on AmericanFirstFinance.com that allows consumers to search wherever they are for furniture, for mattress, find within their zip code, and then elect to go straight into the landing page for your website to get that approval and populate it inside of your application dashboard.
Nice. So it's kind of both. It's like you can go ahead and go through the process and purchase something online, or I love this too. It's a foot traffic driver. Get approved, get everything in order, and then come into the store and do the shopping. We love driving foot traffic.
Absolutely. Who doesn't need foot traffic these days?
All of us. It's funny. I just, as a sidebar, I'm speaking of foot traffic and like the conditions and the climate of the world with ever changing tariffs and legislation. I know these things are on people's minds. So I think as the cost of goods potentially increases, people are going to be looking for ways to spread that payment out. I got a bunch of reposts on this, but on LinkedIn, I took the most recent piece of legislation that passed, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, and I fed the entire thing into a custom GPT. So you can go on and chat with it and find out how it might impact, your retail business. So follow me on LinkedIn. You can maybe get some answers to those questions. But one piece of the puzzle here, of course, is like, hey, money, if money's going to be tighter, people are going to be looking for other financing options. What is the climate like out there right now from a lending perspective and a buying perspective?
Yeah, I think it's challenging. There's consumers that are trying to survey their options always and trying to understand how much cash to leave in the bank, how much to earmark for spending. And so, with programs like ours, we see a lot of consumers that would be strapped a little bit more, that would be overextended from a prime and near prime standpoint, and allow programs like ours to be utilized just to help fill in the gaps. So I think people are always utilizing programs that fit their needs for their purchases. And with AFF and with consumers, there's always going to be a challenge of, can I make that payment, or can I do the things, can I get what I really want now? But with the current atmosphere, again, there's a lot of things that are happening out there that they can't control. What they can control is the money in their pocket.
Do you have a sense of how much bigger the tickets are, the average tickets are, when financing is used versus credit card or cash payment?
Yeah, I think that obviously every merchant is different. So I can't speak for all merchants, but typically we see in finance and in specific with our payment options solutions, they could be anywhere between 30 to 40% more in spend than a traditional cash or credit card consumer. So if you want to sell smarter, not harder, not have to get that additional close through the door for two people to get that same amount, you're going to be much better off by leading with financing early and often.
Early and often, early and often, early and often. I love it. Something else really cool. And I know that this is just being announced, but our friends over at Esquire Advertising, they've teamed up with American First Finance, and you have this co-branded campaign. Okay, so you're actually going to, as a retailer, advertise financing and not sofas or not mattresses. Walk me through this.
Yeah, we've been really excited, and we've worked on this for some time now with Esquire, and great people, love the group, and we continue to bring more value to our merchants. And so one of the ways that we can do that is by helping them get the word out. Not everybody focuses all of their ad spend on no credit needed customers or all credit welcome customers. And so from there, we provide solutions that allow those merchants to say, hey, we're doing business with AFF, and this is our solution. This is our provider. We want you to understand, no matter what situation you're in, all credit is welcome. So click here to learn more, and we'll drive that traffic back into the stores.
Wow, that's really cool. There's also a dollar for dollar ad match. So if the retailer is going to spend $2,500 a month on this advertising, the co-branded campaign with AFF through Esquire, you're going to match it that same $2,500. So if it's going to increase to a total of $5,000 in ad spend going out to attract a consumer that, like you said, you typically see a 30 to 40% lift whenever people are using financings. This is a way to bring it up early and often.
Yeah, everybody's looking for ways to stretch the dollar a little bit more, even as business owners. And so I think what's important here is if we can expand your marketing capability without necessarily your dollar spend, you're going to see the benefit of a solution like this much easier, much quicker than trying to put those dollars out on your own. What's great about Esquire and why they're very impactful for us and why we chose them is they're able to identify, isolate bot traffic versus true traffic coming through their websites, through the merchants' websites. And so I would just say what's good about it is the dollars that you're going to spend is going to go directly to the right customers. And from there, you're going to have a much easier, better conversion. There's several other providers or several other retailers out there that have had great success with them. And that was, again, part of our process when we reviewed to determine if Esquire was the right partner. So we're very excited about that program, very excited about the opportunity to expand our merchants' capabilities on a marketing standpoint. And then at the same time, just continue to bring even more value to our merchants.
I got to put a double red underline around that because this bot traffic is only getting worse and worse, especially with sort of the advent here of AI. And during Dream Camp, I remember Melissa Muncie was one of our Dream Campers for American First Finance, amazing person. And she is a really, really good singer, by the way.
Yes.
Really good. I was like, you're my karaoke partner. You're my ringer from now on. But we were talking about how AI, I did like a mini session on AI. And one of the things that I brought up was in a world where AI agents are going to go do things on your behalf, the marketing is going to be marketing to the agent, not to the person. Because if you're going to say, I want to go out and find flights, under $600 going, to San Francisco, then all of the sites that actually own some of that inventory for flights, your agent's out there doing all that work on your behalf, and you're going to have to advertise to the agent. So this world and like getting into it now and understanding how to isolate out bad traffic and bots and all the junk that's out there and navigating and sifting through it, that's going to be a core competency, I think, for retailers that really want to attract in-market shoppers, which I know Esquire is great at.
Absolutely. Again, I think it's all about stretching the dollar one and then bringing the maximum value you can with that dollar that you're spending. So really excited about the technology and the opportunity to continue to expand with our partners.
Well, every time people come on to the Fan Podcast, I got to make sure and like get to know them a little bit. So tell me the story about the mini pig.
Of course, yes. Back during COVID, when everybody was concerned about the world and where they were going and what they were doing or not doing, we decided that the city life just wasn't for us anymore. And so my wife and I started looking for places outside of the city and really focused on some acreage just to have some space and be able to enjoy some property. And so we did. We found a property here about 15, 20 minutes outside of the city. And at the time, our real estate agent was showing us the house, and we saw this little pig walking along the fence. And my wife's like, oh my gosh, look at the pig. And so, of course, the real estate agent said, yeah, her name is Miss Wiggles. Do you want to feed her mints? And the owners would give us mints to feed their pig. And so, when we got a little further down the process and realized that we were going to make the purchase, my wife said, we're getting a mini pig. I said, all right, whatever you say, I love you.
I had a slightly different experience when my wife requested a mini pig.
Yep.
She was wanting a mini pig, and we do live in town. I mean, Bentonville's not a huge city, but I mean, it's pretty fast paced. And
sorry.
That's all right. No, you telling maybe the mini pig knocked off your camera. I don't know.
Could have been, but yes, we ended up finding a mini pig, and of course, his name no other than Chris P. Bacon, of course.
This poor pig. So Crispy Bacon, does Crispy Bacon rule the roost, live outside, live inside? How does that all work?
Crispy Bacon spends about 10 hours a day with his belly in the air, laying and sunbathing. He's living his best life at the farm and really enjoying food. He likes to graze and go back into the backwoods and really enjoy it. So he's not having a bad life whatsoever, I promise.
It sounds like it. Okay, so my mini pig thing, my wife wanted a mini pig as well. And I decided that we had this Jack Russell Terrier who was about 20 pounds. And one day she comes home and he's dressed as a pig. I bought a pig costume for him. And so was like, look, now you have both. You have a dog and you have a mini pig. You just dress him up and he kind of walks around grunting anyway and kind of lays on his back and grazes the tree line as well. So I thought that was a good compromise.
Absolutely. No, that's a much quicker, easier situation to handle and less costly, I promise.
What other animals do you have? Do you have a whole barnyard?
We have quite a few. We've had as many as 4 or 5 dogs, a few cats. We've had even chickens. So we have chickens right now. And of course, with eggs being the price that they've been over the last couple of years, it definitely doesn't hurt to get about a dozen eggs a day. So we're really excited about that. But yes, we've got quite a bit of animals on the farm.
You're just like everybody else. You're just trying to make those dollars go farther. You're trying to stretch those dollars.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, we're excited also to have you and American First Finance team at Sleep Summit here in Bentonville, Arkansas. I know it's just a short skip away from the Dallas-Fort Worth area where you're located. And we're going to be going deeper on financing and strategies that retailers can use to serve more people, serve more of the all credit welcome customers. And I just want to personally say that it's been great, to have American First Finance as our partners at the FAM. Behind the scenes, we go through a fairly extensive, process to get to know people, understand the businesses, understand the values, make sure they're shared values with what we do at the FAM. And it was an absolute match. And so it's been amazing to partner with you, Mark, and Melissa and Dawn and the entire team at American First Finance, doing really, really good work and serving a lot of people. So thanks so much for everything you're doing for our industry. Just as a curiosity point, I know we're talking about the furniture and mattress industry. Like, how big is American First Finance? What industries do you serve?
Yeah, we're spread across 26 different industries, but some of the main industries that we focus on, obviously furniture, mattress, appliance. We do jewelry, we do mobile, we do tire and wheel, auto repair, so dental, elective medical. So we're kind of all over. And so we see the trends from multiple verticals and get a little bit better view than just some of the other providers in this space. Really, we're a publicly traded company. We're purchased by First Cash in 2021. So we've been very fortunate to have the stability of a large $3-4 billion company to make sure that we can be there to deliver the solutions and the performance that our merchants expect. And so it's just been a great match with both of our companies, and we continue to evolve and expand, and really excited about kind of continuing to go down this path with the FAM, and love the engagement, love the members, love talking with you, Mark, and really excited about what the future holds here.
Well, for anybody that does want to get in touch with yourself or somebody from American First Finance, what's the best way to go about it?
Yeah, no, jump on LinkedIn, of course, M. Shelley or Mark Shelley, or you can send me an email at mshelley@americanfirstfinance.com.
And it's spelled SHELLEY.
It is.
Awesome. Well, Mark, thanks so much for being on the FAM podcast. I'm excited to see you and the team here in Bentonville. Sleep Summit. If you're not registered, get registered October 14th through 17th. You can go over to thefam.com and find your way to us. And hey, reach out to Mark. Give him a virtual high five and pass along your thanks. And definitely, if you're looking at a financing partner in the tertiary space and even just guides that can help you in the world of financing, reach out to American First Finance. I can't give them a big enough endorsement. Mark, thanks for being on the show. Thank you, Mark, and the FAM team, of course, and looking forward to the pitch contest there at Sleep Summit. We're modifying it just a little bit. So now this is an announcement. Now it's going to be called the Golden Nuggets competition. All right. And so bring your best golden nugget, and we're going to have rapid fire series of output from the main stage from partners like American First Finance and others, so that whenever you're sitting there with your notepad, you're just getting idea after idea after idea. And we're also going to package them up as a video for all of our attendees, and we're going to send it out afterwards so you can have that stuff and reference back to it, take action on it, put it in play. So we'll see you on the main stage. Sounds awesome. You'll see me there. All right. Thanks again, Mark. Appreciate it, Mark. Y'all have a good one.